Princess Zara stood at the massive window of her starship, looking down at the blue planet called Earth. Her golden eyes reflected the swirling white clouds and deep blue oceans below. As the future ruler of the Veltran Empire, she had visited many worlds, but this one was different. This small planet held secrets that could change everything. "Your Highness," Captain Vex said as he walked up behind her. His purple skin showed the formal markings of respect. "The human representatives have arrived. They are waiting in meeting room 7. Zara turned from the window, her silver dress moving like liquid metal around her tall frame. The Velterans were known across the galaxy for being smart and graceful, but they had one big problem. They could not work for long periods like other species seem to do. "Captain, remind me why we need these humans," Zara said as they walked through the bright hallways of the ship. "Our empire controls 300 star systems. Our technology is the best in the galaxy. What can one small world give us that we do not already have?" Captain Vex looked at his electronic pad. "Princess, our scouts say humans have a very unusual ability. They can work all day long without needing the rest breaks that our people require. Our mining operations on the edge worlds are failing because our workers must rest every few hours. Those harsh planets need workers who can keep going. And you believe these humans can do this?" The reports say yes. They claim their species can stay active for what they call a full working day without stopping for major rest. Zara found this very hard to believe. Her own people were highly intelligent, but they needed to rest every 3 or 4 hours. The idea of working without stopping seemed impossible, even with machine help. They entered the meeting room where 3 humans waited. Zara had seen pictures before, but meeting them face to face was strange. They were shorter than Velterans but built more solid and strong, with odd hair on their heads and round eyes that seemed to see everything. The first human stepped forward. He was older with gray mixed into his brown hair and wore simple blue clothing. "Your Highness, I am Ben Torres from Earth's Space Diplomacy Department. These are my team members, Dr. Anna Kim and Engineer Tom Walsh." Zara looked at them carefully. They appeared normal, even weak compared to her own tall people. "Mr. Torres, we have heard very interesting claims about your people's abilities. My empire needs workers who can stay active for very long times. Can you really do what our scouts have reported?" Ben smiled with confidence. "Princess, I understand why you doubt this. Most species we have met have the same limits as your people. But humans developed differently. We are what scientists call persistence hunters." "What does that mean?" Captain Vex asked with curiosity. Dr. Anna Kim stepped closer. She was a small woman with bright eyes and an eager face. "Captain, may I explain this? On our world, humans created a very special way of hunting. We could not run faster than the animals we hunted, but we could run much longer." She pointed to Tom, who activated a light display showing ancient Earth. The images showed early humans chasing large animals across huge open lands. "Our ancestors would pick an animal and just follow it," Anna continued with excitement. "The animal would run away fast, thinking it had escaped. But the humans would keep following. Hour after hour, day after day if they needed to. Finally, the animal would fall down from being too tired, and the humans would catch it." Zara felt both disturbed and interested by this idea. "You hunted by making your prey too tired to run?" "Yes, in a way," Ben replied. "But the important thing is what this did to our bodies and minds over thousands of years. We developed the ability to keep steady activity going for very long periods. What you think is impossible, we think is just normal." Tom laughed at something his friend said, but Zara did not understand why. "This still seems unlikely. How long can you actually work without major rest?" "What kind of work do you mean?" Tom asked with bright eyes. "Heavy lifting. Light tasks. Mental work. Different work has different demands. Physical work in difficult conditions, Captain Vex explained. Our mining operations need workers to move heavy materials, operate big machines, and fix equipment for many hours without stopping. A normal human can work 8 to 12 hours of physical labor in one day, Anna said simply. Some can work even longer when necessary. Zara's golden eyes became very wide. 8 to 12 hours was longer than most Velterans could even stay awake, much less do hard work. This is your normal work time? Yes, that is standard, Ben confirmed. Many humans work even longer than that. Our medical doctors stay awake and working for 24 hours straight when there are emergencies. Our military people can stay ready and active for several days when missions require it. The princess looked at Captain Vex, who looked just as surprised as she felt. Their own people needed rest every 3 to 4 hours and could only do their best work for short periods. I find this very hard to believe, Zara said slowly. Can you show us proof of this ability? Tom smiled wide. What would you like us to do? Our ship has a storage area that needs to be organized. Our crew has been working on it for many weeks, just a few hours at a time. Could your team finish it all in one work session? How big is this storage area? Anna asked. Captain Vex checked his electronic pad. About 2,000 cubic meters. It has equipment that needs to be sorted, cleaned, and put in proper places. The three humans looked at each other quickly. Ben lifted his shoulders. Should not take more than 6 or 7 hours if we work smart. 6 or 7 hours without stopping. Zara could not hide how shocked she was. Oh, we would take short breaks, Tom said like it was nothing special. Maybe 15 minutes every hour or two for water and to stretch our muscles. But yes, we could work straight through the whole time. Zara had to see this with her own eyes. 1 hour later, she stood in the storage bay with Captain Vex and several other officers, watching the three humans start their work. The bay was truly a mess, filled with boxes, machine parts, and various supplies that had been quickly stored during their journey. Ben had taken the job of planning the work, while Anna and Tom began moving things around. Zara watched with growing amazement as they lifted, carried, and organized with steady, smooth movements that never seemed to slow down. Princess, her assistant whispered, should we offer to help them? Our workers could make this easier. No, Zara replied quietly. I want to see exactly what they can do by themselves. The first hour passed quickly. The humans worked without stopping, talking to each other as they sorted through the storage items. Their movements were careful and efficient but never looked rushed or panicked. When the hour ended, they took a short break to drink water and wipe sweat from their faces. How do you feel? Captain Vex asked them. Fine, Anna replied, stretching her arms above her head. We are just getting started and warmed up. They went back to work, and Zara noticed their speed had not slowed down at all. If anything, they seemed to work even better as they found a good rhythm together. By the third hour, they had cleaned and organized almost 1/4 of the entire bay. This is truly remarkable, one of Zara's advisors whispered to her. Our crew would have needed to rest multiple times by now. The humans kept going. 4th hour, 5th hour, 6th hour passed by. They took their short breaks but always came back to work with the same steady energy and focus. Zara found herself completely fascinated by how consistent they were. Do you not get tired? She asked Anna during one of the water breaks. Anna wiped her face with a small cloth. Of course we get tired, princess. But being tired and being unable to continue are two very different things. My body was designed by evolution for exactly this kind of long activity. But how is this possible? Tom joined their conversation. It is partly how our bodies work and partly how our minds work. Our hearts and blood system are built for endurance activities. Our muscles can work for long periods without shutting down completely. But just as important, our minds have learned to push through discomfort and keep going. What do you mean, push through discomfort? We feel the tiredness, Ben explained as he joined them, but we have trained ourselves to work even when we feel tired. It is a mental skill just as much as it is physical ability. As the 7th hour began, Zara noticed something very interesting. While the humans were clearly getting tired, the quality of their work had not gotten worse. They were still lifting heavy things, sorting carefully, and organizing with the same attention to detail they had shown at the very beginning. In our culture, Captain Vex said quietly to Zara, this level of endurance would be considered superhuman ability. But they seem to think it is completely normal, Zara replied, watching Tom lift another heavy container without any sign of strain or difficulty. By the 8th hour, the storage bay looked completely different. Every single item had been sorted, cleaned, and put in its proper place. The humans stepped back to look at their finished work, breathing harder but clearly satisfied with what they had accomplished. That is finished, Ben announced with a smile. Everything is done. Zara stared at the perfectly organized bay, then looked at the 3 humans who had accomplished in 8 continuous hours what her crew could not finish in weeks of working a few hours at a time. How do you feel right now? She asked with wonder. Anna stretched and smiled. Tired, but good. Ready for dinner and a good night of sleep. Could you continue working if you had to? The 3 humans looked at each other thoughtfully. If we absolutely had to, Tom said carefully, we could probably manage a few more hours. Though we would prefer not to push that hard. But you are not collapsed. Not unable to function. No, Princess, Ben said with amusement in his voice. We are tired, not broken or damaged. That evening, Zara called an important meeting with her senior advisors. The human demonstration had left her with many more questions than answers. What we saw today changes how we understand physical ability, she told the group of important officials. These humans accomplished more useful work in one day than our best crews manage in an entire week. But how can this be possible? Asked her chief scientist, Dr. Kelvin. What makes them so fundamentally different from us and every other species we know? I believe, Zara said thoughtfully, we need to understand not just their biology, but their entire way of thinking about effort and endurance. There is something completely different about how they approach the concept of work itself. Captain Vex nodded in agreement. The humans spoke about mental adaptation being just as important as physical capability. Perhaps their minds are the real secret to this equation. Tomorrow, Zara decided, I want to speak with them again. But this time, I want to understand the deeper questions. Not just what amazing things they can do, but how they became capable of doing these things in the first place. She looked out the large window at Earth again, seeing the planet with completely new understanding. Somewhere down there lived an entire species that had evolved to outlast, outlive, and outwork anything they encountered. The implications for her empire's expansion were enormous, but Zara found herself curious about something more personal and meaningful. What did it really mean to be human? What drove them to push beyond the limits that stopped every other intelligent species she knew? Tomorrow, she would ask them these questions directly, and she had a feeling the answer would surprise her even more than today's incredible demonstration had. The blue planet continued its slow rotation below them, home to billions of beings who carried within themselves the power to never give up, never stop, never quit when faced with any challenge. Zara fell asleep that night wondering what it would feel like to possess such determination, such relentless persistence in the face of difficulty. She was about to discover that the physical demonstration had been only the beginning of understanding what truly made humans the most extraordinary species in the galaxy. The next morning, Princess Zara woke with her mind full of questions about the humans. She had spent the night thinking about what she had witnessed in the storage bay. Her breakfast tasted different somehow, as if seeing impossible endurance had changed how she experienced everything. "Your Highness," Captain Vex said as he entered her private dining room. "The humans have requested permission to visit our exercise facility. They say they need to maintain their physical conditioning." Zara looked up from her meal with interest. "They want to exercise after working 8 hours yesterday?" "Apparently so. Dr. Kim says they exercise every day regardless of other activities." "I want to observe this," Zara said immediately. "Perhaps we will learn more about their capabilities." An hour later, Zara stood outside the ship's fitness center, watching through the transparent wall as the 3 humans began their routine. The facility was designed for Velteran physiology, with light resistance machines and gentle movement equipment. Ben started with something he called running in place on a moving belt machine. Anna began lifting weights that looked surprisingly heavy. Tom stretched his body into various positions that seemed impossible for Velteran joints. "How long do they usually exercise?" Zara asked Captain Vex. Dr. Kim said approximately 1 hour, Your Highness. Zara watched Ben run steadily for 30 minutes without stopping. His breathing became heavier, sweat appeared on his skin, but his pace never changed. Anna lifted weights for the same time period, moving them up and down in steady rhythm. Tom moved through dozens of different stretching positions with perfect control. "Captain," Zara said slowly, "our people exercise for perhaps 15 minutes before needing rest. These humans are treating 1 hour as normal. It appears their entire relationship with physical effort is different from ours, Princess." When the humans finished exercising, they seemed energized rather than exhausted. Ben smiled as he wiped sweat from his face with a towel. "Good morning, Your Highness," he said cheerfully. "Thank you for allowing us to use your facility." "Mr. Torres," Zara said with growing curiosity, "you exercised for 1 full hour after working 8 hours yesterday. Are you not tired?" Anna laughed while drinking water from a bottle. "Princess, yesterday was just regular work. Exercise helps us stay strong and actually gives us more energy for other activities." More energy? This concept confused Zara completely. Physical effort creates more capability for physical effort. "Exactly," Tom said as he continued stretching. "The human body gets stronger when we use it regularly. If we stop moving, we become weak. If we keep moving, we become stronger." Dr. Kelvin, who had joined them to observe, stepped forward with scientific interest. "This contradicts everything we understand about energy conservation. Physical effort should deplete available energy, not create it." "For most species, yes," Ben agreed. "But humans evolved differently. Our bodies expect constant activity. When we give them that activity, they respond by becoming more efficient and capable." Zara felt her understanding of biology being completely rewritten. "Show me your historical records. I want to understand how your species developed this way." That afternoon, the humans presented a detailed explanation of Earth's history in the main conference room. Tom operated a holographic display showing the development of human civilization over thousands of years. "Princess," Anna began, "you must understand that Earth was not a kind planet to early humans. We had no natural weapons like claws or fangs. We could not fly or swim as well as other creatures. We were not the fastest or strongest animals on our world." The display showed primitive humans living among dangerous predators much larger and more powerful than themselves. "So how did you survive?" Dr. Kelvin asked with scientific fascination. "We never gave up," Ben said simply. "When a saber-toothed cat attacked our tribe, we did not run away and hide. We chased it away and kept chasing until it left our territory. When food became scarce, we did not wait for better times. We walked hundreds of miles to find new sources. But that seems inefficient, Captain Vex observed. Would it not be better to conserve energy and wait for favorable conditions? Tom shook his head. Captain, waiting meant death on our world. The climate changed constantly. Predators moved in unpredictable patterns. Food sources appeared and disappeared without warning. The only way to survive was to keep moving, keep trying, keep pushing forward no matter what. The holographic display showed scenes of early humans crossing vast deserts, climbing mountains, and traveling across frozen lands. This is the migration out of Africa, Anna explained, pointing to the images. Our ancestors walked from one continent to others, crossing distances that would challenge modern vehicles. They had no maps, no supplies, no guarantee of finding food or water. But they kept walking. Why? Zara asked, genuinely puzzled. Why risk everything for the unknown? Because staying still meant certain death, Ben replied. Moving forward meant possible survival. For humans, the choice was always easy. The display changed to show humans building civilizations, farming land, creating tools and technologies. Notice something interesting, Tom said. Every human achievement required sustained effort over long periods. Building a pyramid took decades of daily work. Creating farmland meant clearing forests and moving rocks year after year. Developing science meant generations of people adding small pieces to larger puzzles. And this shaped your biology? Dr. Kelvin asked. Yes, Anna confirmed. Over thousands of generations, humans who could sustain effort survived and had children. Humans who gave up easily did not. Natural selection favored persistence above almost every other trait. Zara studied the images with growing amazement. Your entire species was forged by never giving up. More than that, Ben said with a smile. Giving up became literally unthinkable for us. Our brains developed to see obstacles as temporary problems, not permanent barriers. What do you mean? Tom activated a new display showing modern human achievements. Princess, look at these examples. When humans discovered we could not fly, we invented aircraft. When we found space was impossible to reach, we built rockets. When diseases seemed incurable, we created medicines. Every limitation became a challenge to overcome. The images showed humans climbing the highest mountains on Earth, diving to the deepest parts of the oceans, exploring the most dangerous environments on their planet. We do not accept the word impossible, Anna said quietly. If something has never been done, that just means no one has figured out how to do it yet. Zara felt something shift in her understanding. This is not just about physical endurance. This is about mental endurance. Exactly, Ben said with approval. Physical persistence and mental persistence develop together. We cannot separate them. Give us an example, Captain Vex requested. Tom thought for a moment. Captain, on Earth we have a saying, if you fall down 7 times, get up 8 times. This means no matter how many times you fail, you always try one more time. But what if the 8th time also fails? Dr. Kelvin asked. Then you try a 9th time, Anna replied immediately. And a 10th. And a 100th. You change your approach, learn from mistakes, find new methods, but you never stop trying. The room fell silent as the implications of this philosophy sank in. Your entire civilization is built on the concept of never giving up, Zara said slowly. Yes, Ben confirmed. And that is why we can work all day, every day. Physical endurance is just one expression of mental endurance. When we feel tired, our minds say keep going. When we face problems, our minds say find solutions. When others say impossible, our minds say not yet. Zara looked at her advisors and saw the same amazed expressions she felt on her own face. But surely there must be limits. Even humans must have breaking points. The three humans exchanged glances. Princess, Anna said carefully, would you like us to show you what humans do when we reach our breaking points? Yes. Tom activated a new series of images. These are records of human behavior during extreme crises. Natural disasters, wars, emergencies that pushed people far beyond normal limits. The display showed humans working for days without sleep to rescue earthquake victims. Medical teams operating continuously for weeks during disease outbreaks. Engineers working around the clock for months to solve critical problems. During the Great Earthquake of 2011 in Japan, Ben explained, human rescue workers searched for survivors for over 2 weeks without stopping except for brief rest periods. They found living people after 14 days of digging. During the disease outbreak of 2020, Anna continued, medical workers around the world worked 16-hour shifts for months. Many worked every single day for over a year. During space missions, Tom added, human engineers have worked continuously for 72 hours to solve problems that could kill astronauts millions of miles from Earth. And these are normal humans? Captain Vex asked in disbelief. Completely normal, Ben confirmed. Any human will do this when the situation demands it. We call it rising to the occasion. Dr. Kelvin leaned forward with scientific excitement. What happens to your biology during these extreme periods? Our bodies adapt, Anna explained. Stress hormones increase efficiency. Mental focus becomes sharper. Physical capabilities actually improve under pressure. You become stronger when things get harder? Zara asked. Yes, Tom said simply. Humans perform best when the stakes are highest and the challenges are greatest. Zara stood and walked to the viewport, looking down at Earth again. After several minutes of silence, she turned back to the humans. I need to understand something, she said. Yesterday you worked 8 hours and called it normal. Today you tell me humans can work for days or weeks when necessary. What is the actual limit of human endurance? The three humans looked at each other seriously. Anna spoke first. Princess, the honest answer is that we do not know. We have never found the limit. What do you mean? Ben stepped forward. Throughout human history, whenever we thought we had reached our maximum capability, someone proved we could do more. Every record gets broken. Every barrier gets crossed. Every impossible thing becomes possible. Give me a specific example, Zara demanded. Tom activated the display again. Running, Princess. For centuries, humans believed no person could run 1 mile in less than 4 minutes. Medical experts said the human body could not physically do it. Then in 1954, Roger Bannister ran 1 mile in 3 minutes and 59 seconds. Once one human proved it was possible, Anna continued, hundreds of others did the same thing. The barrier was not physical. It was mental. And this pattern repeats constantly, Ben added. Swimming, climbing, lifting, thinking, creating, discovering. Every generation of humans does things the previous generation thought impossible. Zara felt her mind reeling from these concepts. So when I ask what humans can actually do, you are telling me there is no answer because you keep expanding your capabilities? Exactly, all three humans said together. But why? Zara asked, her voice rising with frustration and wonder. Why do you never stop pushing further? Why do you never accept good enough? The room became very quiet. The three humans looked at each other, and something passed between them that Zara could not interpret. Finally, Ben spoke, his voice soft but clear. Princess, may I ask you a question? Of course. If you knew that giving up meant your children would suffer, would you give up? Never, Zara replied immediately. If you knew that stopping meant your people would lose their freedom, would you stop? No. If you knew that accepting limits meant the end of progress and growth for all future generations, would you accept those limits? I would not. Ben smiled gently. Princess, humans believe that everything we do affects our children and their children and all the generations that will come after us. We believe that our species has unlimited potential for growth and achievement. We believe that accepting any permanent limitation betrays everyone who will live after us. Anna stepped forward. We work all day not because we have to, but because we choose to. We push beyond our limits not because we must, but because we can. We never give up not because giving up is impossible, but because giving up is unthinkable. Tom joined them. Princess, humans do not stay strong all day because we are physically superior. We stay strong all day because we refuse to be weak when others depend on us. Zara stared at them as the full meaning of their words settled into her mind. These beings did not just possess unusual endurance. They had chosen to never accept limitations on what they could achieve or become. They had decided that persistence was not just a tool for survival, but a moral responsibility to the future. You make yourself stronger, she said slowly, because you believe you owe it to tomorrow. Yes, Ben said quietly. Every human alive today exists because thousands of generations before us refused to give up. We owe them the same commitment. Princess Zara looked around the room at her advisors, seeing understanding dawn on their faces. Then she looked back at the three humans who had just explained the most powerful force in the galaxy. For the first time in her life, the future ruler of a vast interstellar empire found herself completely without words.